Hey, good evening, boys and girls. I'm saying evening because it's not morning anymore. I'm having to do this over again. Miss McGuire made a mistake when I made our first video this morning. I turned the sound off for some reason. I don't know how I did it, but I did. So we're going to try this again, but now it's evening instead of morning. But we can still have our class time together. So we're going to do like we always do every morning, and we'll go ahead and get started. We're just doing it at a different time. So we'll stand up and we'll say our pledge to the flag. Ready? Right hand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Very good. The poem that I have for today is about robins. I'll show you this picture. My robins, well, they've gone to bed now, but they sing to me early in the morning. They wake me up. So this is what my poem for today is. It says, "What the robin told. The wind told the grass, and the grass told the trees. The trees told the bushes, and the bushes told the bees. The bees told the robin, and the robin sang out clear, 'Wake up, wake up, spring is here.'" So I'm glad spring is here. Well, as you can see, today is Thursday, April the 2nd. I was wondering if anybody tried to trick someone yesterday for April Fool's Day. I didn't. Not this year, maybe next year. Well, in our Bible time, yesterday we started talking about this very special time of the year, Easter year, and Easter week is coming up pretty soon. It will start on Sunday when we have Palm Sunday, and that was what our story was about yesterday. Remember, we opened the blue egg, and inside was the little donkey. And so today we'll open up the next egg, and it is pink, and we'll see what's inside. Oh, some coins. These are Roman coins. They look a little bit different from ours. There's 3 of them in here. Well, let's see what the Bible has to say, why there would be some coins in our egg today. Remember we talked about Matthew? Well, this comes out of Matthew's book in the New Testament. It says, "Then one of the 12 disciples, whose name was Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and said, 'What will you give me if I deliver him over to you?'" Sounds like he wants something. "And they paid him 30 pieces of silver. And from that moment on, he looked for a chance to betray Jesus, to hand him over to his enemies." Boy, that sure is sad, isn't it? To have a friend that you trusted and he learned from you. Judas was with all the other disciples. This whole time, Jesus thought he was his friend, but really he wasn't. Judas was, we found out, was a greedy person. He liked money, and he was always looking for a way to have money and extra things. And so he found a way. He went and talked to the leaders that really didn't like Jesus. And so they made a plan. He said, "If you'll pay me, I'll tell you where you can find him and when." And so they did. They gave him 30 pieces of silver. Now, I couldn't fit 30 in my egg. There's 3 of them in here, and each one is worth 10. So we can count by tens, can't we? We learned how to do that already. So let's start. Let's try it again. From 10, we're going to count to 100 by 10. Ready? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And so the people gave, the people that didn't like Jesus, they gave Judas Iscariot 30, 10, 20, 30 pieces of silver for him to help them find Jesus. So we're going to count by 10. We're going to put 10, 20, 30, because each one of those is worth 10. Tomorrow we'll have another egg to open up, and we'll see tomorrow what's in there. Well, I wanted to do a little bit of review. You know, we've worked on different kinds of words this week. We worked on SH words that said shh. And then yesterday we worked on CH words that said ch, ch. So let's take a look at these words. The first one, I only see one vowel. So that means it's going to say its short sound. Ch, in, chin. Can you touch your chin right here? Remember in the three little pigs? Let me in by the hair of your chinny chin chin. All right. Here's another part of your face, but I see two E's together, so it's going to have the long E sound. Ch, eeks, cheeks, cheeks. All right, and the last one, oh, cherry. One of my favorite drinks is cherry Coke. So, airy, two R's, cherry. All right. Now, remember we said that CH can also be at the end of a word. So let's go back. Up here, porch, porch. All right. I like to stand, look, my son Will likes to shoot basketball. So I'll come out and stand on the porch and watch him. He likes to dunk. He thinks that's pretty cool. So, and then this one, oh, we don't ever want to do this and hurt somebody. I says I, pin. So that would be pin. And then if I put the CH at the end, pinch, pinch. Did anyone ever come up and pinch your cheeks? There's two words, pinch and cheeks, right together. All right, and our last word, we had it yesterday, but I wanted to talk about it again today. EA. So those are our two vowels. They go together. Remember, A is the second one, so it's quiet and says, all right, Mr. E, you can say your long sound. So we have B, each, beach. It sure would be nice to be at the beach, wouldn't it? Well, I brought something to show you, something you might find at the beach. And it's this word right here. It's an SH word. Sh, because there's one vowel. Shell. And this was a pretty big shell at one time, but I think after the waves kept hitting it, it kind of got broken. But I still liked it anyway, and I would use this when Will and we would use this to kind of dig in the sand as like a little shovel. And remember, shell, it has two L's at the end, but it's not shell, remember? Two letters that are the same make one sound. So there's shell. All right, something you don't want to see at the beach, this guy. A shark, right. It's okay to find shells. You don't want to find a shark while you're in the water. That's this word right here, shark. All right, another word, well, we have two words that end in SH. All right, the first one is short A says mash. Have you ever had, I'm sure Mom's made mashed potatoes? Ooh, those are so good. We didn't have those tonight though. And I'm going to tell you about when we are talking about England, sometimes they'll have bangers and mash. So I'll have to wait and tell you what that is. The last word is B-R, bruh, and then U says brush. And I brought my brush my hair in the morning and at night. Brush. All right, well, CH, SH. Those are the letter combinations we worked on. We've got a new one for today, and I'm going to stand up for that so that you can see them. I put a lot of them on the board. I thought since today was the Thursday, we could go ahead and learn and talk about the TH words. All right? So, TH, 30, 30. That goes back to our Bible story, doesn't it? When Judas betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. Boys and girls, how would we write 30? What numbers do we need? That's right. Just like here, 3 and a 0. 3, 0. That's 30. Very good. I hope you're remembering counting. All right, next we want to throw. Throw. There's a lot of games where you have to throw the ball. Baseball, basketball, football. Lots of games where you throw. This is our next word, 2 of these. Thumb, thumb. And the last one on this side, where it starts, is thorn, thorn. I don't know, my roses haven't bloomed yet, but rose bushes you have to be careful because they have a thorn on them. And they're very sharp and they can hurt. And a little bit later, in a few days, we're going to be talking about thorns again, but in our Easter story. So I won't say any more. All right, now these words end in TH. The first one is B-A, one vowel, bath, bath. Will you be taking a bath tonight? I don't know. How about this one? One vowel, O, says ah. Moth, moth. A moth looks a lot like a butterfly, but they're kind of different. You usually see those in the summertime, and they're always around the light. They love to fly around that light at night. All right, the next one is birth, birth. Somebody just had a birthday in our class. Yep, Cam had a birthday on Tuesday. The 31st was his birthday, the day of his birth. So it has TH. And then the last word, short O, claw, cloth. Ah, you hear that ah sound again, cloth. The clothes that you wear are made from cloth, different kinds of cloth. It could be cotton, it could be wool. There are different kinds of cloth. So today our letter blends were T and H. So we've had SH and CH and TH. That letter H is getting a lot of use, isn't it, with many different letters. All right, it's a pretty popular letter. All right, well, let's go on and talk about our friends over in jolly old England. Yes, and I brought my box with me. So we'll open it up and we'll see what is inside for today. I was very excited to share this with you today because it has one of my most favorite things in it. Everything you would need to have some tea. You know, Miss McGuire, I don't drink coffee. I wish that I did because Mr. McGuire drinks it and a lot of my friends do, but I just don't. So I drink tea, and I think a lot of it has to do with my grandfather. His family came from England, and so he drank tea all the time. And so I was very close to my grandfather. I loved my granddaddy, and whatever he did, I did. So he drank tea, I drank tea. So I wanted to show you in the afternoons, late in the afternoon before dinner. They eat dinner kind of late over in England, and so in the late afternoon around 3 or 4, they get a little hungry, so they would have tea. And so I brought everything that we would need if we were going to have a little spot of tea. Yes, so let me take all these little things out so I can share them with you. All right. So I would fix myself a cup of tea, but first I would put it in my little teapot. And my grandparents gave me this one. This is called a brownie, not just because of the color brown, but that was the name of the people that made it, brownies. And so I would make my tea, put it in there, and add the hot water. And then I would get my little teacup, and I would pour some tea in there. See? And then over in England, they would say, would you like 1 lump or 2? And I think, lump? A lump of what? Think about a lump of coal at Christmas time. I don't want to get that in my stocking. But they were talking about a lump of sugar. And it really is just a little sugar cube. And so, since this cup is small, I would just use 1 lump. And I would put it in there and pour my tea. And I didn't fix any tea right now. I'm going to have some in just a little bit. But I'd pour that in there and have my tea. And then they ask another question. They say, do you want your tea white or black? When I first thought about that, I thought, well, all it means is, do you want milk in it or do you want it plain with no milk? Do you want your tea white or black? A lot of times we'll just say, well, do you like cream in that? But they ask you, do you like it white or black? And I drink my tea with cream. So, and then the last thing, you need to have a little snack with your tea. And so they would have what's called a biscuit. Now yesterday, remember we talked about how they have the same words we do, but they just use them differently. And so a biscuit over there is just a little small, thin cookie. They're not very sweet. They don't have icing on them. They don't have sprinkles on them. They're just kind of plain, almost maybe like a graham cracker or something like that. And it just goes with your tea, and it's just a little snack so that you're not starving whenever supper comes. Speaking of supper, remember when I told you about the word mash? They have a dish that they fix called bangers and mash. And do you know what the bangers are? Bangers are sausage. So they would make their sausage, not in the little round sausage patties, but they would, they're long links. And they would fix those, and then they would mash some potatoes, and then they would put the sausage on top, and that's bangers and mash. But when I think about biscuits, I think about the round biscuits, or having a sausage biscuit, or maybe you go to Chick-fil-A and have a chicken biscuit for breakfast. But that's not what biscuit is over in England. It is a little small, like a sugar cookie. So anyway, tomorrow, boys and girls, we're going to do some things that are different. We're going to have our Bible time, and our colored egg tomorrow is a light purple. It's a lavender or a lilac color, so we're going to have that tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to do phonics. I think we're going to get ready and do something fun, do something a little bit different tomorrow to get ready for the Easter time. And I want you to know that even though spring break is coming up, I'm still going to do our Bible time, because we have how many eggs? A dozen eggs, which is how many? 12. So each day we'll do just a short little Bible devotion time where we open up an egg and see what's inside and get ready for that very special day coming, Easter. So I hope that you have a good evening. I'm sorry that I had to do this all over again, but it's okay. It's all right. And I will see you in the morning. And we always say what? Jesus loves you, and so do I. And what else do we say? Cheerio, cheerio. See you tomorrow.